brighten up those dark mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter. Mornings at the Cabin.
The mornings are finally bright. Mornings at the Cabin, indeed. We are back in Studio One, all within not arm's reach of each other. None of us can touch each other, but we're here, and we're here to stay. Back in Studio One, Mornings at the Cabin. Welcome back. You don't have to look at our faces anymore, which may or may not be a hindrance to this program. Sometimes just staring at somebody, aching. While they're aching not to scratch their face or look weird while they're on camera is kind of entertaining. But here we have our dulcet tones. It's me, it's Wheeler, there's Lecter, there's AJ. Ollie joins us as well, looking very dapper as he is wont to be in the morning, and with a new haircut. Ollie, a haircut?
It was about 3 months overdue. I walked into Ragged Ass, and they actually all turned around and were like, oh, yeah, we've been expecting you.
Look at this guy. Oh, my God. Sit down. So, yes, Ragged Ass has been open. They started a trial run last Saturday, and they've been, I think, open ever since, pretty much. So,
and I got in, and it took me like 3 minutes to get into a barber chair, and then by the time I left, there was a lineup of 11 people.
yes,
So,
wow. Yes, all the way out the door. I was talking to Steve Payne last week saying they might have to put chairs in the hallway so people can relax in that hallway at the mall. Because you are, for the foreseeable, we're going to have to be outside of, range of punching.
Yep. A lot of haircuts to get through.
That's right. It's going to be a ton of haircuts to get through. My hairstylist still, I haven't talked to her in a couple months, and I didn't want my first message to be like, hey, friend, can I put you to work? There you go. Mornings in the Cabin returns to Studio One with 1 hour less sleep. So all bets are off as to how this is all going to go.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
What are you doing? Stop doing that. No one can see you anymore. Which is why I shouldn't be talking about it. Ladies and gentlemen, this just in, AJ finally watched Grand Budapest Hotel. So we can finally put that to rest. This journey has ended.
Thank you,
Just
AJ.
to see your faces was worth it.
Thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in. There he goes, walking out the door. Bye, AJ.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
No.
Either have I.
What?
No, me neither.
No. You were the one who were like, really? You were like really surprised that I hadn't seen it yet.
No, not surprised.
Oh, okay.
I was surprised that we had apparently framed this as something
that we should talk
AJ
about.
had to
I
catch
thought
up.
it was a relevant thing to bring up.
Really?
Yeah,
Grand
really.
Budapest
Really?
Hotel.
Oh, there you go.
Really? You think that matters?
Yeah, there you go. All right.
I haven't seen the last two Wes Anderson movies. I haven't seen the Darjeeling Limited either. Although I did see I haven't seen Isle of Dogs either. So what are you gonna do?
Jesse,
What?
my headphones just cut out.
Did they?
Yeah.
Well, there they are, all turned up.
Are they unplugged slightly? Anything?
Good to be back at Studio
No.
One.
Yeah. Remember how we were just at the computers before and we didn't really have to do anything?
Yeah, you just jiggle the USB.
You speak for yourself.
Actually, I was supposed to.
It was
Wouldn't
so
speak for
easy.
you.
Yeah.
All it's like we didn't have to do anything. Huh?
So that's why we're not going to be live on the video because it takes a lot to produce it.
I'm done with that.
And he's done with that until we can find someone to do this for free. By the way, send your resumes into mailbox at cabinradio.ca if you'd like to do something for free this summer.
Well, AJ and I were just discussing. Do you maybe at 8 a.m. just want to jump on the wagon? Just be like, if you're expecting this, sorry.
Just a face of him scrolling, and then he looks at the camera and goes, go on, get out of here.
You're still here?
Download the app already.
I have actually scheduled a post in for 8 o'clock.
Oh,
just in case
Perfect.
anybody turns up. It's like, what? Where are they?
Well, because we know anyone who was watching at 8 a.m. is not listening right now. So, there's probably some.
maybe,
Jen
yeah.
Pagonis is probably listening.
I like to
Good friend
think
of the show.
all of our listeners were listening to the best of Mornings at the Cabin.
And then
And
switched
then
over.
tuning into Mornings at the
And now
Cabin.
back they are with regular old mediocre mornings at the cabin. Regular old best we've got mornings at the cabin.
Doing
what's
just
happening
enough to
today?
get by on Mornings at the Cabin. It's good to see you guys. We've been seeing each other every morning, but in person is a little bit different. A little.
You get the smells.
Yeah, you do get the smells.
Pretty warm in here.
We're what are we? 2 weeks into phase one? Is it almost? No, it's a week and a half. Last Friday started phase one, so we would have gotten back into the studio last week, but we had to do a little bit of reno. Well, we didn't have to do it; someone else had to do it.
Yeah, not even AJ.
Not even AJ.
Yeah, for once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is. And I brought this up months ago, and finally it gets done. But we did put up that the new wall, so it actually goes all the way to the roof.
Here goes idea guy.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry, the wall was your idea?
The wall was my idea. Guys, I don't feel like this wall is good enough. Oh my God, I'm always knocking stuff off the wall.
Don't smash that. Jim Taylor cross-stitched that.
There we are. There we are.
More importantly, I put a nail in the wall for that.
That's right. Are there studs in here? Like, are there? Yeah, it's not just drywall.
No.
And they put ice. They put
Well,
insulation.
four of them.
That's right. Who's the fourth? So the wall was my idea. Finally, it's done. But that's great. We were
It's like
missing
listening to a Trump conference, isn't it? The wall was my idea.
It got built right on time.
Every wall, my idea. We're gonna build the biggest wall. It's gonna go all the way up to the roof, from the ceiling to the floor.
Best studs you've ever
It's gonna be
seen.
great. It's gonna be great. If we kill 100,000 people, doing a great job. Yeah. Welcome back to Mornings at the Cabin in
good to be
Studio
back.
One. It's gonna be back. It's gonna be back. I was saying this though. We did take a picture. You took a picture of everything that was on this wall.
I did not.
No, he didn't.
Oh no, you didn't. That's
I
right.
didn't do that.
We told you to do that.
Sure would
And
have
then
been
you didn't.
handy.
I didn't do it.
And it would have come in handy. Although AJ has done a very good job. Although I will say this, AJ, everything is quite precise.
Yeah.
You know the funny thing? When I put that up, I went, I'm just going to throw it all crazy. Like.
This is you going crazy.
Yeah, this is me.
Well, you
just,
see the edge
obscure.
of this novelty license plate is kind of encroaching.
Oh, yeah.
On Walt
Ooh.
Humphrey's print. So that's crazy.
That's
Oh, I
wacky.
noticed.
You got a little easel up there that's kind of askew.
Oh.
A food rescue card that's kind of askew as well.
Notice the spacing of the burlesque? Slightly to the right.
Slightly to the right. That's right. Everything
yeah.
Chaos.
Yeah.
Sweet, sweet chaos.
everything else done with a level and a laser.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
It looks great.
Lines
couple
perfectly
times, yeah.
parallel.
It looks great. I think as we move forward, we'll continue to just kind of haphazardly throw crap on the walls.
Yeah.
And just to remind us of where we've been and where we come from.
Even those tacks are like nicely aligned.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, there's some sort of shape he's going for there. But remember, you can't come in here yet. No. At some point, when we open this all up, we'll do tours again. Studio 1, Studio 2, maybe even Studio 3,
Yeah.
which is
The
a
old-
deep, dark secret.
The old 45-second extravaganza.
That's right. That's right. If you look to the floor, you'll see a yellow line. Follow it. It'll take you through the office, into Studio 1, and back out again.
And there's a raspberry jam stain from 2018.
Where?
I think it was over here.
There was one over here, yeah.
I took care of
That
it.
was the sweet and sour that or
That's
raspberry
right.
jam. We weren't sure what it was. It was a big mystery.
The sweet and sour raspberry jam.
We still
I just
blaming
bit the
Jay
side
Bear
of my
for
mouth. That's what just happened there. I just want raspberry jam.
Oh, it is good to be back.
Oh, it's good.
Couldn't get away with that kind of nonsense on the wabbin.
No, I know. No, we would have turned it into I would have bit the side of my mouth and it would have been like, ah!
You would have just battled through it and
That's
not
right.
mentioned it.
No, I would have mentioned it.
Oh, you would have mentioned it?
Mention everything that happens. Anything that comes into my brain usually comes out of my mouth.
With gusto.
With gusto. Ollie, you sit here transfixed by our conversation. How does it feel to be back in Studio One?
Terrific. Not at all tiring.
Great.
You guys can't see the sarcasm on his face now, but I
You
still
can definitely hear it dripping from his lips.
Who's doing a breakfast run?
Yeah, who is doing the breakfast run?
I don't know.
We'll have
AJ.
to- Rochambeau.
What's the Rochambeau?
Well, that's a
Like
throwback.
odds and evens.
That's
Isn't
a-
Rochambeau
What's the Rochambeau?
Oh, no,
like
that's
rock, paper, scissors?
a first season South Park reference right there, my friend.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's where you kick each other in the nether regions until one gives up.
Until one gives up.
I actually didn't know that's what it was.
Yeah.
So that's,
You just thought it sounded nice.
well, I guess the suggestion's out there. Here we go.
All right, we'll play Inky Pinky Ponky.
You're not allowed to count it out
What?
ahead of time.
We'll start with Ollie going left.
I'm convinced he hasn't got it right anyway.
I don't
So
think I do. I was like,
you were saying letters, not numbers. I don't think he's actually
I
added
was
it up.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Ollie
J.K.
starts.
Donkey. Wait. D-O-N-K. All right. Never mind. We'll figure out who goes for breakfast.
Well, Rochambeau.
Yeah, we'll Rochambeau. We're going to kick each other in the nether regions until one of us cries and goes and gets breakfast. Here's
Again?
some Queen. Same old here at Mornings at the Cabin. Stick with us. We promise this will come to something.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast was recorded before a sort of live, thankfully not in the studio, audience.
Wheeler, Ollie, Lecter, AJ, all with you. All four of us here to stare at each other and talk to you all morning long. as is kind of 80% of the time I come in here, we put up our topics on the board. We pick our topics, what we want to talk about, and put them up on the board. And sometimes somebody puts a topic up there, and I go, "What's that about?" And they say, "You hold your horses, you stupid son of the other." And I'm like, "You know what? Why do you have to be so aggressive? I just want to know what's up." And you'll find out. Get out of my face. Fair enough. Duck races. What's going on?
Last year,
yes,
and indeed many years before that. So Canadian Tire has had a duck race out of Yellowknife River.
That's right.
And they popped the ducks out. Now, last year was quite a still day, and the ducks really weren't feeling it.
No.
The ducks, you could say, were just not bothered. And about an hour into it, they decided that this had gone on long enough, and someone went out in a boat and just picked a random duck. We're like, yeah, this one wins.
Well, they made waves first.
Remember? Oh, yeah, that's it,
They boated around behind them to create waves.
Has the river just stopped? What's going on?
No, so the wind was going as fast
into the
river. Other way.
Oh, wow.
So the ducks did not move at all.
Oh, man.
So this year, I went to Cameron Falls last week, and I thought to myself, you know what would be cool? Extreme duck racing. Like, what if we send the ducks over the waterfall? And so that's what we're going to do. We spoke to Canadian Tire. They're all for it. They love the idea. So Cabin Radio's Extreme Duck Racing, brought to you by Canadian Tire, is a thing for this summer. And when you buy your duck, obviously this is all for Jumpstart and maybe some local charities as well. We're still figuring that out.
Wow.
But you buy your duck, and then there's going to be... we obviously can't do it as a live event because you can't have gatherings and things like that. And so we're going to film it without anybody else. Like, we're going to just go and film it one random day. We're not even going to announce when we film it. We're going to film, and there's going to be like 10 ducks, 20 ducks per heat. There's going to be a bracket. Your duck is going to have to get through the first round, through the second round, through the quarters, through the semis, into the grand final, and then win the grand final to be the champion of Extreme Duck Racing. We're going to film all of it, and then we're going to release the videos one a day through the whole week until your ducks get to the grand final, which will be a Sunday afternoon, full Super Bowl-style broadcast.
Good Lord.
Do you get all that?
Are we going to strap a GoPro to one of the ducks?
We've got 3 GoPros. So we were out there yesterday testing the different camera positions.
Yes.
We're going to have 3 different GoPros going. Yes.
500 GoPros.
If anybody would like to donate a GoPro, we're looking for one. Sorry, you said with Falls, and I completely missed it. Which Falls?
Cameron Falls.
Cameron Falls?
Mm-hmm.
Alexandra Falls.
It's too far away.
Ow.
Cameron Falls is nice because it narrows
also
down.
Next to impossible to get them back.
If you look at the course on Cameron Falls, it's actually really good. You drop them at the bridge, and then they've got to get through. There's a few little eddies where your ducks could get caught up and drift to one side, which of course is a catastrophe for any duck.
Part of the game.
As long as your duck manages to hold that center line, which is all important, then you get through into a narrow, there's a chicane that you got to do a little right and then a left. And then it just narrows in towards the fall itself. The fall itself is only about a meter wide at the top.
Yeah.
It narrows considerably.
It's true.
So that's going to be a pinch point on the course, and you've really got to get the right line into that. Then your duck has got to get through the fall itself, which has got 3 or 4 different levels to it, then out the bottom, and it's whoever reaches the bottom finish line first is the winner.
Wow. Spoiler alert, there's enough water at Cameron Falls for a Falls. That's good this year. That's nice. You never know. I feel like I come up to that every year, and I'm like, this could be the year.
I mean, duck races would be interesting on their own, and if it was a trickle. If it was Cameron Trickle, and then they're just like, who's going to get that little burst of water to eat over
Number 34 still stuck on that second level, that second shelf there, not moving.
That would be arguably similar to last year's duck races at Yellowknife River.
Pretty much. This is going to be great. It's going to be so much fun. And we're going to do play-by-play because it's not going to be live. We're going to record everything, then edit the videos up and release them one at a time. There's going to be play-by-play, on-screen graphics, the works.
Yep. Vegas odds, everything.
Vegas odds, that's right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And, well, we've got a great leg breaker for anybody who doesn't pay up. So
that's right.
It's AJ. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And if you are a business that wants to pay a little bit extra, you can get a duck, and you will be given your duck ahead of time for you to paint or otherwise put your logo on or whatever you want to do. Make it a little NASCAR duck, put branding all over it, and then give it back to us so that your duck stands out. We'll do a nice little beauty shot of your duck at the start of the race.
I'm just going to cut a hole in the duck's butt and put a bunch of rocks in it. There you go. It'll probably, not a bunch, not enough to weigh it down, but enough to make it get down the falls, a little quicker.
Okay, because I feel like there's ways for that to go wrong.
Yeah, that's right.
When your duck just sinks stone.
You guys are idiots. I'm going to fill mine with cement, and it's going to fall right down the falls.
I'm going to put a speed anchor on it.
That's right.
Right.
Absolutely.
So you guys went out yesterday and tested it out. Did a little trial run.
Which was hilarious.
How'd that go?
I had 30 rubber ducks in a backpack, and that's it. Oh, 2 bottles of water.
You just threw the backpack without releasing the ducks into the waterfall.
That was our first mistake.
That's right.
Unzip the backpack on
There
the
you go.
second round.
Yeah. Second trial run, unzip the backpack.
No,
Okay.
we threw one. I had a big fishing net, and we threw one, and it was just the way that the river went.
Normally used to catch dogs. I know.
Yeah,
Well, the thing with this, before we get to what happened, is that duck extraction is key in this whole event.
Wow.
Because if you don't manage to get all the ducks back,
Yeah.
that's bad.
Ooh.
Like, we
Yeah.
don't want to just start sending rubber ducks out into the environment and never getting them back again, because we know that's a bad thing.
Well, that's what I always think about these duck races, especially at a place like Yellowknife River. There's little alcoves and little nooks and crannies along the river's edge where ducks can just go missing, or a jackfish could come up and just eat one.
Yeah.
If you had saw last year's, you wouldn't have this concern.
No, I'm sure.
Those ducks remained as a peloton throughout.
100% they did not lose one.
Too many bad memories from duck races past for me. Can't be watching that stuff.
The massacre of
Emotional
1987.
scars.
The massacre of 1987, where my duck just fell into a fire.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's right. That's what happened.
Yeah, we're not letting you near any of the ducks. You got some bad ideas, bad mojo for ducks.
Somebody
Mojo.
had rocks in it. It just went straight into the fire.
Just a couple of pebbles, just to give it that much of an edge.
Well, and also if one of those ducks escapes in an early heat, but it was the winner,
And that gives birth to more ducks,
that too?
right? Well, it's in a heat.
Catastrophe.
Come on.
What do you do if a duck that wasn't born at the start of the race wins it? What a great question. I don't know the answer to that. So, meanwhile, we're testing the duck extraction because we can't afford to let a duck just sail away into the distance. So AJ's down there with a great big fishing net, and it took you maybe, 10 minutes to actually get close enough to the edge, clamber down the rocks.
There's some navigating there. Yeah.
Eventually gave me the thumbs up. We flipped the duck off the top of the bridge. The duck is just sailing away. It's got exactly the right line, and you were in position.
I was in position, and it's a pretty long net, but I knew that either way I couldn't reach the middle. So I was like, okay, there's about 2 feet in
That's the most
middle-
important part.
in the middle of the river that I can't reach. And this duck slowly tracked directly to the middle.
Oh, no.
So I was like, I got one shot at this, and I just reached and kind of leaped, and I missed it by what had to be a centimeter.
It just that duck just evaded that net straight off through the chicane, over the waterfall, and gone.
Honestly, it turned back and looked at me, gave me a wink, and went, "You son of a gun."
So that duck is now lost.
No, because Dre the dog swam out at the bottom of the waterfall and got the duck back for us.
The greatest dog.
What was
in the
Penny doing?
history of
Licking
dogs.
herself on the hill.
All right. Greatest dog in history.
Come on. Is there anything Dre can't do?
He saved a life, Jesse.
Who?
He saved
duck.
this entire race.
A duck.
963. He saved a life.
Hashtag 963. That sounds like a lot of fun. When does it start again?
Oh.
Okay, great. Keep an eye.
We're working on
production.
that. Honestly, we're working on all the details. Canadian Tire is in. They're really excited to do
Perfect.
it. We're really excited to do it. I imagine they'll start selling ducks probably in June.
Okay.
And I imagine this will all be a thing in July.
Very nice. Very nice. Extreme duck racing coming in July from Cabin Radio and Canadian Tire. Get your ducks as soon as we figure out when you can.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast. Hey, it was early. What do you want from us?
Monday morning, a bright, beautiful Monday morning, almost as if it's not winter anymore. Right? We're almost there. And I think, you know what? It snowed a little tiny bit on Saturday morning. It was cool enough to get a little snow. And I mean, you know, everybody kind of talks about it over this month. It's just like, I can't believe it's snowing. And people will inevitably come on. It's like, it's always snowed in May, so just relax. Here's the thing. Not so crazy that it snows in May. It's crazy that it snowed 10 times this month.
Yeah.
10 separate times it has snowed in May. That's a bit different than it just happening to snow in May, which happens pretty much every year. We get that one last blast, and then it's done. But this time it's done like 10 times, and it sucks.
But it's getting better. I had my annual, the air conditioning isn't as good as it should be. Better take that in experience yesterday, when I drove out to the falls, and it's like 8 degrees. Got back, a big old warm hike.
Well, yesterday was beautiful.
Got back in the
Gorgeous
truck.
Day.
It was like, this air conditioning is not as cold as it needs to be. It's like, all right, I will get that fixed so that I can enjoy 6 weeks of summer with some air conditioning, and then I won't need that again for 10.5 months.
For context, 0 degrees this morning.
Hey!
In Yellowknife, -6 with the wind chill. Looking for a high of 7.
It is May 25th.
But looking ahead to Saturday.
Yeah.
+4.
Let's just look right ahead to
That's
the weekend
right.
already.
Huh?
High of 16 degrees.
Hey!
Wow.
All right.
Sun. Yeah.
Right.
So let's see how that changes.
Sunday?
Whip out the
Saturday.
toboggan.
Yeah, but what's Sunday?
Sunday, the same.
What
Sunday,
are you doing on
16.
Sunday?
Well, I just like to think that both days of the weekend might actually be nice. You know?
No.
I just like the dream.
Wait a second. Both?
Yeah.
There's 2 days in a weekend?
Usually.
Well, I think there should be 3 now.
Well, of course there should be.
I think we should go to 4-day weeks. Let's just like, hey,
Hey,
we're
New
the pandemic.
Zealand's
New
Zealand's
Zealand's
practice. They're
apparently
going to do
doing
it.
that.
New Zealand's talking about it.
Right.
4-day week. I mean, okay, let's be honest. How many people work from home and realize that the efficiency of their office didn't go down one little bit?
It's probably a big thing we're learning.
Right? That's
out of
a
all
huge
this,
thing that we're learning. I'm interested to see what the JWT does with some of these jobs that can work from home. And like here, like you put in your 5 hours or whatever and do your thing. If you get your work done, what the hell?
Yeah.
Who cares?
I think it's also going to come. It's going to be interesting because like after all this, people are going to see what changed, what didn't change, and I do agree with you. I think by and large, probably a lot of office efficiency type stuff probably hasn't really been that brutally affected by people working from home. But on the other hand, I think a lot of people have discovered that they don't like or can't work from home.
Yes.
I would be one of those people, which is one of the reasons I was so thankful that I was the only one with studio access and wasn't forced to work from home, because I would have been useless. You guys wouldn't have heard from me. I would be playing
tough.
video games.
It's a tough thing to do.
And that's it.
But it's also like, ideally you find a middle ground where, you know what, if you want to work from home every now and again, great. And then come in the office when you need to come in the office and then get that balance right. I think in the longer term, we talk all the time about, how can we attract more people to come and live in the NWT? If, like, we studied New Zealand's example and then, like, as a pretty small territory that can get away with this stuff, said, all right, you know what, we're going to institute it so that as a statutory norm here, it's a 4-day work week.
Oh, man.
With Friday, Saturday, Sunday off as standard. And then individual employers can vary that because obviously you sign up for whatever contract the employer, like, if the employer says it's a 5-day week, then sure. But if the standard is a 4-day week, then I think that would turn some heads.
Hell yeah.
I think you get some people looking at the Northwest Territories and saying, hey, maybe I'll just go work for somebody there where I'm going to get a 3-day weekend every week of my life.
You have to beef up that border security. They're going to be piling
This is why I said the longer term. The longer term. I don't necessarily want a tidal wave of people at the border like next weekend.
4-day work week, 4-day work week.
Sneaking through the bushes, getting into the Northwest Territories. We don't want any of that.
I want that sweet, sweet 3-day weekend.
Well, you talk about the individual businesses. I mean, which businesses can kind of go 4-day week? You could have government
we
jobs
could,
going 4 days.
straight out the gate.
We absolutely could go 4-day week. But I mean, I still would like to do the show every day.
But we already had a rule in place which said one of us could skip one day each week for their mental health and well-being anyway, right?
We're very progressive
we
here
are
at
very
Cabin Radio.
Absolutely.
We could easily do a 4-day week.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
We could. Government could. My current job elsewhere probably couldn't do that. Other jobs couldn't. Like, I mean, if you're...
I don't know. Do you feel like you could do your job in 4 days? If someone said to you, like, Jesse, do you feel like you could make roughly the same in 4 days as someone who's selling on commission?
I mean...
Like, is there a way to do it?
There's definitely a way to do it. There would be a way to do it, but it would still mean having to be available to come into the office each day that it was open. Right?
Sure.
So you could do a lot by email, but there's still the thing that people want to, drive the thing that they're going to spend $40,000 on. So there's that. And we don't have, like, if we were a bigger store like you have down south, you could possibly manage that where it's like, I do most of this online. I have a guy that you're going to go see to do the test drive, and then we facilitate that.
Yeah.
Right.
But here it's obviously a little different, a little bit of a smaller shop. But, yeah, while this was going on and our hours were reduced, we were trying to do as much online as possible, showing people how to do everything online as much as possible and delivering vehicles to their homes as much as possible. And it worked out for the most part. It did work out. And then other than that, not getting in people's cars, wiping everything down, all that kind of good stuff. But
You make a good point that not every job is going to be suited to that. Right. But then already, like, that's why we have night shifts on some jobs, right? Like, some jobs require different working hours. And, like, that is always going to be the case.
And if you don't like it, why don't you just get another job? And another one. And another one. There's millions of jobs for everybody every day.
Hey, no spitting.
Hey, this is my mic sock.
That's true.
And I will lick it.
Okay.
Oh, I did lick it.
You did lick it. You actually did lick it.
I did, yeah. I didn't mean to.
We're going to get you to switch that mic sock.
I meant to just do the sound.
This is why we need a soundboard.
That's right.
I'm saying, saving you
Honestly,
from yourself.
When you were saying earlier on, Lecter, that you needed a soundboard over there, I did not realize that it was a pandemic-related process that was being introduced here.
Well, I mean, and so
we've all been forced to change, Ollie. This is just part of it.
What we're talking about is like if things being adjusted after this, kind of like almost like an experimentation. We kind of like we see what happens during this, and we kind of take what we learn and move forward.
Yeah.
And there's still always people that are saying, can't wait for things to get back to normal. It's like normal sucked. Let's not go back to the normal. Let's move forward into a new normal. Well, where the big one is that 4-day work week, or being able to work from home whenever you want or whenever you need to, because novel coronavirus aside, we lose billions every year in North America and hundreds of thousands of work hours due to flu and colds and things like that. So if you're able to have a nasty cold and work from home, then you're not losing those hours. You're not losing that efficiency. Yeah. So that is a huge one because people need to stay home, not just because of novel coronavirus, but because of like the flu or having just the sniffles. Why spread that in the office?
Yeah.
Stay the hell home. So, yeah.
We should probably go to a song because AJ's downstairs and can't get in with our breakfast.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
We didn't talk about this last week, and we had it up on the topics board. We don't have it up at the topics board, but it came up. Facebook avatars. Now, they've calmed down. For about a week there, everyone's like, well, I guess I'll do it. I don't know. I mean, I never do stuff. This pandemic on social media has been the 2 months of like, well, I never do this, but here's all my information about my life. I never do one of these. Here's all my data.
Yeah.
So people have been doing that, and the Facebook avatars became kind of popular the last couple of weeks because apparently Facebook is just like, hey, let's get into this avatar game 10 years late. Because what are they? Emojis or amiibos or whatever? Amiibos. No, but there's like a Google one where you can make an avatar as well. I even made one of those. So you can send it in text messages and stuff like that.
Oh,
it's just like you and your
of yourself. Oh,
yeah, of yourself. So I imagine
one.
Facebook just bought that company because that's what they do. Facebook's like Disney.
Right.
It's like, hey, I like what you guys are doing.
Do they own Snapchat?
I'm gonna buy that. They don't own Snapchat. Okay. They own Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay. Snapchat has that function.
They do. Yeah. They do. People still use Snapchat, huh?
Oh yeah.
For other than nudes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I believe so. I've never used it for anything other than nudes. But
yeah, fair enough.
I'm
fair
assuming.
Enough. Well, they get deleted after 10 seconds.
What's perfect about it?
When it first came out, that was obviously the notion of it.
That was exactly the notion of it. It was a way to comfortably send nudes that couldn't be kept and shared. That was exactly the point. Yep. And then it became the most popular app with children, and it was the weirdest thing. I just spoke moistly. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
No,
I didn't. No.
Bleh. Yeah, did one of those.
Well, it's a good thing we're social distancing.
Did adjusted.
That's why we do it.
Yeah.
So anyway, Facebook avatars. I know you all know this. None of them look like you ever. Like it doesn't. There's not one. There's not one out there that like it pops onto somebody's page. It's like, well, that doesn't look like you.
Not one.
Not one. No. Well, there's one.
Yeah.
It's Kevin McDonald.
Yes.
K-Mac, his avatar actually looks like him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But K-Mac kind of looks like an avatar.
Speaking moistly image.
Yeah, that's right.
If you will.
Like a spitting image.
That's the one.
I get it. I get it. Very funny. Oh, man. You are on fire.
Topical.
What?
I said I missed that wit.
Yeah, I wasn't that witty on the wabbin.
No, you were kind of reserved.
Yeah.
You didn't like people looking at you.
I was like,
I don't know
what
why
to
that
do
is.
with
You're a
my
very
face.
handsome man. People think you're handsome.
I just sat there with a pleasant smile, being like, just don't look weird.
Did your mom ever say that to you? You're a handsome boy.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. More
right.
so my dad.
Look at my handsome boy over here. Yeah, that's right. Fair enough.
Tussle my hair. Send me on my way.
Tussle my hair, Mr. Hanks. Oh, you're hurting me. Yeah, fair enough. So the avatar, you haven't made one. AJ, you have
not. No. Shocking. I know that Lecter is not jumping onto a trend on social media. I know.
That's right. No, you kind of hooked into the ball cap and hoodie thing, and you're just like, this is it.
This is me.
I found my coffin look.
That's right.
This is what I'm going to be buried in. Get ready.
It's my best look. Slap a little makeup on me.
There you go.
I'll be good to go.
There you go. Well,
Don't fix what's not broken.
Kind of fallen into the dark jeans sweater thing. That's kind of my wheelhouse.
Yeah,
So,
another classic.
absolutely. And I don't think there's an avatar like you go into it. So it's just like building a custom character in a game where it's just like, do they have what my face looks like?
Yeah.
And like if you've built one in NHL and they've got like literally 150 different faces that you can pick from.
Yeah.
And then you kind of adjust them to fit. It never does.
No.
So these avatars, same thing, and it's just like every color of the rainbow, and to hell with purple people. And then you kind of pick one. You're like, is this what my face looks like? And you look in the mirror, and you're like, I don't know, is that my face? And apparently everyone's picked one where it's like, yeah, that looks the least like me. I'll put that one up.
Yeah, but the thing, they put it up and they say, oh my gosh, I can't believe how much this looks like me. Like, are we looking at the same thing here?
Are you blind?
There's a profile picture directly above it. You don't look anything like it.
Here's the thing. Most people have a conceptualized look of an idea of what they look like. Even if they I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, all right, not bad. And then I see myself in pictures and I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah. This camera sucks.
Yeah. I look like a Salvador Dali mixed with a Picasso. I'm like, like those are classic, but geez. There's that one picture of us at Burlesque last year, and I look like I'm dying.
Yeah.
I look like I'm about to die.
Yeah.
Like my hairline looks whacked out. My face looks just gross.
I think my closest comparison was you looked like Bullock from Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. And it looks like I'm making that noise with my face.
Oh, yeah. You were 100% making that noise.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
no question.
I've heard you make that noise a million times.
I know. It's what I do in the morning.
Oh, there's the face.
There it is.
There it is. Take a picture.
Yeah, the chin was out. Everything looked puffy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, okay, I can work
You're
with
like,
this.
hey, De Niro.
Hey.
That's a pretty good De Niro face, by the way.
I
Wow.
can do that. Little bit. That's all I can do. That's all I got.
Great. That's all you need.
You just make
All
bubble
you
sounds.
need.
Your avatars suck. That's
Have you
all
guys
I want
made
to say.
avatars? Did you make one, AJ?
No,
No, I
didn't
made
make
one on Snapchat.
Oh.
And it looked identical to me.
Really?
Well,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
Spitting in it.
here's the thing about you two fellas. Those avatars are made with white people in mind. It's just like, here's 150 different versions of a white person. Here's a black face and a brown face as well. And there you go. Just drop all these things down. You guys just look like that. Yeah, there's so many things to pick from.
yeah.
And like the avatars for like straight up white people, like, yeah, that's about the closest you can get.
Have you seen Kim Kardashian's face masks that she's getting a lot of heat for?
Oh God, no. Why? Is it just her
Kind of
ass?
along those
Is it
same
just
lines.
her ass on a mask?
I mean, that's the focal point of the ad.
Great.
But
It
no,
starts
kind
there,
of along
pans
the
up to her
like,
face mask.
Well, no, just like you say, like 100 different shades of Caucasian.
Yeah.
A tanned white
There
person.
you go. A tanned white
A
person.
pale white person.
There you go.
And
Yeah.
otherwise,
Yeah.
not so much variation.
Just like AJ could find one that looks exactly like it. It's like, oh my God, I thought that was you as a cartoon.
This is uncanny.
This is uncanny.
A white guy with a beard?
Even the freckles are perfect.
How did they get this so spot on?
Oh my Lord. There's privilege even in the Avatar world. That's going to do it for Mornings at the Cabin for the first time back in the studio in, a month and a half?
At least.
At least a month and a half.
Almost 2 months.
Yeah. We were doing at least 5 or 6 weeks of Mornings at the Web. And thank you so much for joining us at Mornings at the Web. And by the way, we hope you continue to listen, even though it's broken up by a bunch of songs here on Mornings at the Cabin. We're doing it from 7 to 9. If you're a new listener, welcome aboard this crazy little train we get on every morning. We'll try not to go off the rails. But when we do, it's also pretty entertaining.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca and by following the Mornings at the Cabin Facebook page.